Chapter 348 of the Berserk manga series is out, and boy, we have a lot of information to cover today.
And guys, we've got some theories that you do not want to miss. Don't forget that you heard it here first.
When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
We would like to thank the author for not dying and giving us this lovely chapter this week.
Yeah.
And yeah, please like and subscribe for more content. So the first scene that stood out to me was the vastness of the wasteland. Farnes and Silka, they were blown away by it. And that black sun shining upon them, you know, it was really intimidating.
Well, I mean, the sun technically wasn't shining because it's black and devoid of light. And I think that was symbolic of the lack of hope that Casca feels. Because without light, there's no life. Without the sun, there's no life.
So two things that really jumped out to me in this whole scene was the fact that in the distance we saw this pyramid-like mountain, and Silka made sure to mention it. She's like, what is that? You know, and you know for sure that's going to play a part later on in chapters. The next thing that jumped out to me is the fact that despite this vast wasteland existing, Farnes was like, oh, how are we going to find what we're looking for in this vastness? And Silka was able to say, hey, as long as we focus our eyes. Right then and there, as she said that, in the distance she saw the dog.
Yeah, and the dog representing Guts is depicted as being wounded by 5 stakes, which we think is representative of the 5 members of the God Hand. He's pulling the coffin and is shackled to it. It's a great weight for him. And this scene shows Guts as we know him, the protector. Here he is fiercely protecting the woman that he loves. And since this scene is a construct of Casca's mind, this shows that Casca is still aware that Guts will fearlessly fight and die for her. So we see the Hound being staked by the 4 mysterious beings that appeared. He's being tortured by the beings, and I was wondering, are they members or representative of members of the God Hand, excluding Femto? Could this be Miura's way of giving us subtle foreshadowing? Is it telling us that Griffith might have a less antagonistic role in the future?
So that's one possibility, but what could also be another possibility is if something evil is waiting for Casca and Guts in her own mind. The problem we saw is that the dog, despite being a protector and a good entity, it is still being attacked by entities in Casca's mind itself. What if it's actually something evil looking inside Casca's mind?
That's a very good point. The first time that you mentioned that theory to me, I didn't quite grasp what you were trying to say. But now that I think about it, like I said earlier, everything that exists in that world is a construct of Casca's mind. In the scene on page 7, we see the dog's emaciated and maimed frame. He's missing his left leg and, you know, Guts obviously is missing his left arm. The dog is wasting away and seems imprisoned and bound to his duty to transport the coffin.
Later on, we saw that inside the casket that the dog has behind it, there is a broken doll, and in that broken doll is a miniature version of Casca. Now, one thing I did notice is that the miniature version of Casca acts like Casca in the real world. So that could mean that that small little fragment of Casca is just but one small piece of her entire body.
The figure in the coffin was depicted as having its head and body broken, and this could be symbolic, or the symbolic equivalent of Casca having her mind and body broken. Casca is not only a shell of her former self, her entire being has been drastically reduced, which is what the miniature version of Casca represents.
So some really cool things we saw in this chapter is that Farnes and Shiriki may be doing further battles later on in later chapters with the dog.
And you know what I thought was really cool is that it's kind of reminiscent of when they were all together and battling together, you know,
right,
as a team.
Yeah, it is really nice to see Berserk go back to its roots and focus more on the characters we love and want to see. And the fact that the main mission is being done after all these years, it is really, really something spectacular to watch. So you guys tell us what you think, comment below, and let us know.
Thank you so much for tuning in and checking out our video. If you haven't already liked it, hit the like button right now. And don't forget to check out the description box. We've got it completely filled out with information and videos that you do not want to miss. Leave your comments and questions down below. We love hearing from you. Subscribe. Over and out.